Week 16 electric football show. Time for some thrilling heroics. And I got to tell you, Stu, man walks down the street in that hat, people know he's not afraid of anything.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Speaking of not afraid of anything, Titans at the Jags. And my level of interest in this game, let me do the math.
All right.
Nothing into nothing. Carry the nothing. I'll take the Titans. I could care less about this game. Titans have a little more fight in them. Popping Geno Smith in the face for one thing, and less ugly uniforms.
I guess I just keep wishing Jax would win one just for Jax Teller.
I don't even know what that means.
Don't you watch Sons of Anarchy?
No, actually,
my God!
I don't watch Sons of Anarchy. Well, you'll figure out what I do watch if you pay close attention to this show. Eagles at Redskins. This is your coach, Jay Gruden speaking. We have some problems with our quarterbacking process. We may experience some slight turbulence and then explode. Eagles, easily. Redskins have quit.
Eagles keep beating the Redskins, and I don't see any reason to take Washington at this point. One of the many effed up French franchises right now are those Redskins.
Okay.
They are effed up.
Speaking of slightly messed up franchises,
yeah.
Chargers at 49ers. And I got a question. I'm watching the game, and I swear to God, Jim Harbaugh had on a turtleneck with the San Francisco 49ers thing, like, here. Was he wearing that backwards in some sort of weird defiant act against the 49ers Management Alliance? It was really weird to me. Both teams took playoff hurting losses. San Francisco got screwed on a rant-worthy call, and I will rant. You can no longer lightly hit the quarterback in the head, even if you're being pushed by a 300-pound man while you try and go past him and tackle him. And you can't hit him in the knees, right?
That wasn't my knee.
Yes, unfortunately that wasn't. Luckily, Stu wears a cup for these shows.
Woo!
The 49ers get called for a hit to the quarterback's chest. Head up, face mask to the chest, not point of the helmet. Where the hell are you supposed to hit a quarterback? When did it become, we'll throw a flag because that looked like it might have hurt a star player?
Who was it?
Who was it? Who'd they hit? The 49ers hit Russell Wilson.
Oh, well, there you go then. A franchise quarterback, not a dim-witted Johnny Manziel type.
Oh, okay. But as long as they're not penalized for it, in this game, I like the physicality of the 49ers to win out. Stu?
Yeah, Chargers are playing, for a chance at the playoffs. They're 8-6. Do the 49ers call it a season here? I really don't think so. I think the players, no matter what's going on with the Harbaugh situation, I still think that's a franchise with a lot of players that can play fierce football, and facing the Chargers shouldn't be that tough a deal for them. It's fun to play spoiler, and I think the Niners are going to do that, so I'm taking the Niners.
Okay. Vikes at Dolphins, and we'll let Stu go first.
Okay, well, the teams met last in 2010. Both teams have sucked for decades. Vikes are a surprising 6-8, while the Dolphins are their usual 7-7. Steve is a Nordic nightmare to do this show with, and while the Dolphins are clearly more intelligent than a Norseman, I am summoning the ghost of Jax Teller and the Sons of Shula to win this one, to provide us with a mid-round selection when our new GM and head coach selected next year's draft. Sons of Shula to beat the Nords.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal, Stuart. The Vikings jumped out to a 14-point lead against the stellar Lions D, and I don't see any reason why we can't do that against the Sons of Shula and still lose that game. We cannot finish, and I don't expect us to finish against a slightly better Miami team at home. I'll take the Dolphins too.
Yeah, all right.
Ravens at Texas.
Flacco brings the well-balanced Ravens into Houston to face some quarterback who we don't even know who's going to be, and the J.J. Watt freak show. Both teams have excellent run games here, and this is, to me, it's the best game of the week in terms of balanced teams facing each other. Looking down at the rest of the schedule, this is really two teams that match up well. I just think Flacco gives the edge over the quarterback-starved Texans. That's the reason.
J.J. Watt, no power in the verse can stop him, but a power in the verse can stop guys like Fitzpatrick and Clowney.
Gone.
So it seems like Houston always suffers really crucial injuries that just sort of eliminate any hope from that team about midseason. I don't know what their training staff is doing, but it always seems like they take crucial injuries where every team takes injuries. It just seems like Houston takes just a couple more. So I do expect the Ravens to be able to run, hit a deep ball or two when they need to, and win the game.
Yeah, agreed.
Lions at Bears. Mark Trestman has to tell Andre, Cromer, you turn on one of my crew, you turn on me, and eject him into the black void of space. I don't know how you go, we have buyer's remorse because we paid Stu a lot to be on this show. Keep that off the record, and then the next thing you know, you're in a meeting crying and apologizing. But I don't think it's going to matter. If you watched the game last night, the Bears have nothing.
Yep.
They have a very talented team that has absolutely no desire to play football for Cutler or for Trestman or for Cromer or for whoever. It's not like Cutler went out and said, I'm going to make him eat those words. He threw 3 picks. He looked disinterested. Give me the Lions to rejoice over the Bears' buyer's remorse.
Yeah, Cutler's throwing more picks than Rick Nielsen of Cheap Trick. Lions.
Good Cheap Trick reference there.
Thank you.
Stu, I want you to want the Vikings.
I can't.
Browns.
Actually, if you win, I'm in good shape for a draft pick.
There we go. Browns at Panther, and Johnny Manziel aims to misbehave, but his aim misbehaved in his first start, and that was pretty ugly. And I got to tell you, speaking of ugly, did you see the knitted brown tie he wore at his presser?
No, because I do nothing that even remotely looks like I'm watching Johnny Manziel.
I like what he was saying, but he was wearing a knitted tie. I couldn't stop looking at the thing going, who the hell wears a brown knitted tie?
A garbage man.
Did your grandma make that?
Awful.
So, Cam or no Cam, and it's looking more and more like it's going to be no Cam. I do like the revitalized Panthers to win at home, and they are in the playoff chase. I mean, they were probably pulling for the Bears pretty hard last night. But they are in the playoff chase, and I imagine they're going to make Johnny Manziel's nickname a little more questionable.
Yeah, how about Johnny Pointless? Because putting him in was pointless, and then the Browns ended up pointless. Patine is a complete moron for switching out Hoyer when he did. He had a guy that actually was getting you to a point, wasn't he?
No, I thought you had to take the shot.
I don't. I totally disagree.
Hoyer had, 0 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in his last games? It's not like he could do a whole lot worse, but Johnny Manziel did. But sometimes you got to take that shot, don't you?
Not yet. Not with that kid.
Okay.
Panthers for the win.
You don't know what they're seeing in practice, though.
I don't see anything at all.
Right, but we're not there in practice seeing how he stacks up against Hoyer, how the guys react to him. I would have taken the Manziel shot, and I would stick with it at this point to see what I got.
I'd be drafting a quarterback in Cleveland next year, except there are none.
It's one game, though. How quickly do we give up on these guys?
I gave up on him when he came into the NFL. He's garbage. Oh, God, he's garbage.
All right.
All right.
Falcons, we're allowed to disagree.
Of course we are.
We like to talk shit about football.
That's right. Put your comments below and tell us how right I am and how wrong Steve is.
Falcons at Saints in an eliminator game in this division. Whichever team loses is really out, though I think the Falcons might be out now. Kind of takes a math degree to figure, an advanced math degree to figure this one out. There's a tie mixed in there. They're all losers. Divide by strength of schedule, whatever. And if I'd won at school, I would have gone to school.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So I'm just going to take the Saints because I think they're finally going to recognize, hey, we're home. This is New Orleans.
Yeah.
Holy crap, and we're better than these guys.
And it's the very bottom of the barrel as far as defenses go. 31 and 32 are playing each other here. Can you believe these offenses are actually 25 places higher than the defenses are? I mean, that's how both of these offenses are pretty good. And they're sporting the worst defenses in the league. Literally the last 2 defenses here. Falcons won in Atlanta, so the Saints will win in New Orleans, taking the Saints.
Okay. Packers at the Bucks. And the Packers need this one bad after a really bad loss to those rotten Bills. The Gorham Bucks have made me look bad all damn season. But I expect Aaron Rodgers to bounce back after, I think, his lowest quarterback rating of his career. Something like that last year. I heard that. It was, he had an off game. It happens. Hopefully he'll come out and say, relax, everyone will feel a mite better, and they will go on to win.
I'm taking the Panthers, aren't you?
The Panthers.
Packers.
Bucks.
Can't even read my handwriting.
All right. Chiefs Steelers still redeem
All right, well,
yourself.
the Chiefs are looking to vie for a playoff spot here, while the Steelers could win the division if they went out here. So Ben and company have the better passing game, while the teams are pretty even in the running game. I'm just taking the home team in this classic AFC matchup. It's a game that I really want to see because, first of all, it's teams that I grew up watching a lot of because they were always in it back when we were kids. And it's a good game now. These two teams are fighting for playoff spots. Pittsburgh's in a driver's seat. Chiefs desperately need a win to stay in this. Steelers.
I'm going to pour you a frosty mug of shut the hell up.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't know why, other than I believe that they're going to ride Jamal Charles and Niall Davis, and you're going to have that frosty mug of shut the hell up.
It's not bad.
Actually, I don't really like that. Cold snap, Sam Adams. Not one of your best, Sam. Anyway, I think the Chiefs ride a ground game and are able to neutralize the Steelers' ground game.
Really?
I don't know why. This is one of those, like, just got a feeling, got to ride with it. I'm riding with the Chiefs.
All right. They have no passing game. I don't know how they'll keep up. There's nothing to defend other than the run against the Chiefs.
Kelsey, Alex Smith went for like 230, 240 last week, didn't he?
240. That was his high of the year, I think.
Okay, we're on a roll. And one of those, I think, was a Niall Davis like 70-yard shot.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they have
It's a 5-yard pass.
they have some explosiveness that I think may make a difference in this game. It's a
Hey, I'm never right. Why would you not go against Steve?
there you go. Pats at Jets, and Rex Ryan is spry for a dead fella, ain't he? He's moving around pretty good. They beat the Titans in a meaningless game that may have hurt them as far as draft picks go.
Yep.
We've now seen that Tom Brady can beat you with his feet, and Bill Belichick can kill you with his brain. So I'm taking the Pats to rub Rex's nose in the turf one last time on his way out.
Thank you, CBS, for letting us consistently have the Jets on CBS Football Sundays and no other game practically ever on Sundays. And this is another one. Why is this on? At this point, the NFL's got to say, hey, New York, you know what? You're not worth watching. The Patriots are going to win by, 35 here? Good luck watching that. I'm going to the DirecTV bar.
Giants at the Rams, and Odell Beckham Jr. is a leaf on the wind. Watch how he soars. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
He is an amazing receiver.
3 touchdowns last week. Would have been 4, but one was called back on what I thought was a really questionable holding call.
It was really stupid.
And I'm not a Giants fan. I'm not biased that way. I'm a Vikings guy. I don't really. I of the New York teams, I kind of pull for the Giants, but I'm not biased. I thought that was a really bad call. I thought he had 4 touchdown catches. But I do think no matter how a soaring leaf he may be, the Rams D is good enough to rake up Eli and Andre Williams and his 3.00002 rushing average. I don't see that the Giants have a run in them at the end of this season to say goodbye to Coughlin properly. I like the well-rested Rams to win this one.
Yeah, the Rams haven't won a game in this series in quite some time, and I like the way that they're playing. The Giants did well against the Redskins last week, but it's the Redskins. And the Rams are playing like they think they have something to play for. They don't, but they're playing like they do. Jeff Fisher's got them fired up every game. They come in, they play hard, they smash you in the mouth, and I think the Giants are kind of going to mail this one in. The season's over. You're right, Coughlin doesn't deserve to go out on this note because I think he's a great coach, and I think those 2 Super Bowl wins you better savor because I think it might be a while. But I think the Rams win it here.
What do you think of Jeff Fisher as a coach?
I'm glad he went to St. Louis and not to Miami.
So you're not real high on him?
Not a big fan. Okay. He's like Cowher. He was in a lot of years and he didn't even win one. Cowher won once, and he got within 1.5 yards of winning. But that's one time, man. That's not something I want in Miami. I want someone, God knows I want someone who can really motivate a team and
See, I like Fisher. I respect him. His players seem to
like him.
He always seems to run a clean ship. Like you never really hear a whole lot of trouble out of unless I'm forgetting one. Dolphin, fill me in.
Ferguson.
Well, no, you got Kenny Britt, I guess.
But I meant Ferguson, the city.
Yes, no, I know. I was ignoring that.
It was nothing Jeff Fisher did.
And going to Kenny Britt, who did the hands up thing. Wasn't he one of the... Anyway, I'm just saying, Fisher seems to always... But he seems to top out, and it's not...
Schottenheimer.
Yeah, that might be a good example.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Get you here. No,
Right.
But he gets you here, and he's always going to get you there. He's just not going to get you to the top.
Yeah, there you go. Good. With maybe a little less talent that Schottenheimer had.
Yeah.
Okay. Bills at Raiders. And advice for Tony Sparano. I always want to say Soprano. When facing the Bills defense. When you can't pass, you run. And when you can't run, you find someone to carry you as the tight ends coach next year. Bills' superior defense stops Derek Carr, flattens the tires, whatever bad analogy you want to use. And Sparano has to fire up his resume yet again. That thing's been fired up so much it must be charred.
Yeah. Bills beat the Packers, for Christ's sakes. Bills.
Okay. Colts at Cowboys. And Jerry Jones and the Cowboys are starting to damage my comm, Stuart.
I'm sorry.
I wanted them to lose that game badly. I got to admit, Des Bryant is a pretty good football player.
Yeah, I'm hearing good things.
Just noticing that. Colts, having wrapped up a playoff spot, may not push as hard as they should to beat the hated Cowboys. And the Cowboys at home, Romo, Bryant, and maybe Murray. It's a question of the finger now, I guess. They're saying that he might play. It's only Tuesday.
He's got to play. He's got to play.
And boy, I'll tell you what, if my fantasy championship, which a lot happened this week, if it's on the line and I got Murray, I'm calling a guy up and going, so you want to split 35%? Want to split 90% of that and play for the last 10?
Yeah, really.
That's going to be a tough call for a lot of people out there. But I do think the Cowboys are on a roll. I think Andrew Luck has not been at his best, and I like the Cowboys in this one.
All right, well, here it is. Here's the bottom line. Which of these two quarterbacks is elite? I keep getting crap about stating that I don't think that Luck is elite. And he's not yet.
I'm usually the one giving him that
crap.
Yeah,
and then most of the writers, too. My mind changes if Indy wins here. But I am taking the Cowboys. The Colts are only decent win was Week 5 against Baltimore. If you go back and look at their schedule, they haven't really beaten anybody. And Andrew Luck is playing a team that is defying the odds this year and winning. And I if this were in Indy, I might give the edge to the Colts here. But as long as DeMarco Murray is playing, and he has to. If he doesn't, I think half the football players that are on TV as analysts are going to call him a big fat pussy for not getting out there because he's got a boo-boo. Let's face it, you had guys going out with broken arms, broken legs, broken brains, playing the game. This guy's got a hurt finger, and he's the star of the team. He's got to go out and play. Taking the Cowboys.
All right.
And if Luck wins, he's elite.
Wow. One game is all it takes to change Stu's mind.
He's got to beat a good team.
He's convinced he's right on Manziel, and he will flip-flop
so
on
right
Luck.
on Manziel.
What do we got? See, you're a flip-flopper.
I'm not a flip-flopper. I'm so right on Manziel. Manziel's dog.
You're John Kerry. Seahawks at Cardinals, and someone tries to kill you, you try and kill them right back. That's the way these defenses are going to approach this game. Mm-hmm. And this, you were saying earlier, Ravens-Texans, is probably the best matchup of the week. This would have been, except somebody keeps killing the Cardinals quarterbacks, and they're not killing quarterbacks back. So Palmer's gone, Stanton's now gone, you're down to Ryan Lindley.
Scooter McGee.
And the Seahawks, talk about, we took a little crap early in our preseason picks because we said, we like Seattle and Denver. There was no reason not to like them. Seattle came out a little weak. I probably wavered. Where's Bradley Brewer? We got at least one or two Seahawks fans out there. Go ahead. Tell us that,
Bring it on.
We lost faith. The defense has become elite again. They are just out physicaling very good teams in the last couple of weeks.
Look that word up.
Out physicaling. I can say whatever the
That's right. It's our show.
Want.
Shut up.
So they're out physicaling a lot of teams. And a lot of good teams. And I don't see the way that a Ryan Lindley comes in and changes that. And let me say this. When you talk about great defenses, you think of the 86 Bears, right? And you think of the Ravens with Ray Lewis. How many Super Bowls were they winning? One. They weren't winning two in a row. If this Seahawks defense takes them through another playoff run and through a Super Bowl win, I'll be willing to put them up there with some of the greats of all time.
Like the 72-73 Dolphins?
Teams better than that defense. I mean, I'm talking like the Steel Curtain and stuff.
Undefeated. Why do we get no goddamn respect? We never lost a game, and we had to go on the road in the playoffs undefeated. Because you friggin' people just don't get it. We were undefeated.
You wear hats with dingleberries.
Listen,
on.
how does Arizona keep winning? I can't even imagine the Seahawks losing this game. I can't imagine the Seahawks losing this game. And I keep saying it so I believe it. Seattle's defense has to prevail here and sweep the series and get the division title. This is what's on the line. They have to win this game in order to get the division title here. Oh my God, do you want to be Ryan Lindley this week? I don't.
Broncos at Bengals. And Stu, we can't be wrong. And you know why?
Why?
Because we are so very pretty. We are too pretty for God to let us be wrong.
Okay.
And I'm picking the Broncos. Terrence Knighton is now talking about hoisting the Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, that's premature.
A little bit, but I have a feeling he might try and hoist Andy Dalton's head a few times. Peyton Manning has not had a great couple of weeks, but the running game has picked up. The defense is playing tough, and Dalton's just not that good. I like the Broncos to win this one on the road.
The forehead brings his show to Monday Night Football in case no one's seen Denver in the last 6 weeks on television. Everything in my gut wants the Broncos to lose, but they won't. And really, we need to see Brady Manning one more time, and that's going to happen in this postseason. Unfortunately, I just think the Patriots are just going to smoke Manning's team as usual. Belichick just...
You're already going to that match.
Oh, I am. Because well, there's no reason to talk about this. The Broncos beat the Bengals. Because it leads up to this. If the Broncos win here, it's the teams with the 2 best records. Probably no one else will match them. The Broncos will have to go to New England if it plays out the way it usually does. And, so all this for naught. Now, Manning looks a little hurt. Said he was sick this week. He's sore. A little chink in the old forehead's armor here. Bengals, they're garbage.
Okay. Well, that's
Hope
the end
there's
of...
no Bengals fans.
There's some Bengals fans out there.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that's the end of Electric Football. And
Is it?
It appears that we got to the end just in the nick of time. And do you know what that makes us, Stu?
I don't know.
Big damn heroes.
Oh, good for us.
Shiny.
I'm Stu Pace.
I'm Steve Brown, and I'll be in my bunk.
We'll see you next week on Electric Football.
Here comes
the hand.
Find yourself some serenity.
Big hand.